Hello, it's good to see you and welcome to part 2 of my album training series. Last time I went through and dissected my first 2 bodies of work so that I could figure out what was working and what wasn't working, and I made a practice log to help me tackle the different areas of my creative ability. It's been a month since I made that video and a lot has changed already, so I wanted to talk about what was working and what wasn't working and what's coming next. When I built a practice log to organize my training, I split everything into different categories such as alternate picking, drumming work, content creation time, production time, etc. And after just 2 weeks of using this practice log, it started to get super overwhelming. And I got home and I was like, okay, I need to practice. And then I got tired and I laid down and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna lay down for a little bit. I really don't want to practice right now.
Honestly, I feel like I'm kind of neglecting my vocal practice quite a lot.
So I decided to give it a complete overhaul. The biggest thing that changed was I decided to take content creation and production completely off the list. I decided to keep those things totally separate, and the practice log is now just for instrument work. As far as technique goes, I had a lot of emphasis on guitar speed, which I was honestly just doing for my own personal satisfaction, but I realized that honestly it wasn't serving the ultimate goal of writing a better album. So I decided to switch up my guitar practice. Instead, there's a lot more focus on fretboard knowledge. This is because I believe through focusing a little bit more on doing triads, chords, arpeggios, and pattern work, I think that's actually going to do a lot more for opening my mind up to new ideas for riffs and chord progressions on my guitar. Okay, quick side note. A lot of people were wondering why I'm doing this practice log instead of just writing more music, and I wanted to clear that up really quick. So yes, I am writing more music, and I do think that writing music is the best way to get better at writing music. However, my creative reservoir is not endless, and oftentimes when I try to write while my creative juices are low, I find the session ends up being completely unproductive. So the practice log allows me to get better at music every day while I'm giving myself a chance to recharge, so that my writing sessions can be a lot more focused and inspired. That's the whole point of me doing this. Okay, back to the video. As much as I do want to improve my guitar speed for my improvising abilities, it's just not really serving the ultimate goal, so it's gonna have to hit the back burner for now while I focus on what's really holding me back technique-wise, which is my drumming skills and my singing abilities. Another thing I changed was I had just sort of one big master list with everything that I was working on, and visually it was not great. So I decided to make a brand new template. This time it's a Monday through Friday schedule, and I took away all the 5-minute blocks, instead opting for just 10 to 15-minute blocks. This way my practice routine is a lot more condensed and focused, and it rotates throughout the week so that I'm working on different areas and it's not so overwhelming by having this massive list of everything that I need to do.
Okay, first lesson done. You guys, this teacher is just phenomenal. I've taken vocal lessons from so many different teachers over the years, and I've never had somebody who can just listen to my voice and know exactly what I need to do differently. He can describe perfectly every single time what is going on with my voice. It's phenomenal. I don't know how he does
pressure actually makes your vocal folds thicken and touch more symmetrically.
Okay.
And gets more of the body of the fold to vibrate. So what that means is that there's more sound waves coming into your resonator when the vocal fold is
While I was refining my practice routine, I noticed something important, and that is that I don't really think the music I have out right now is an accurate representation of where I'm at artistically. And because it's probably going to take me at least a year to get this next album done between the training and the writing and the demoing, I decided I'm going to try to write a short EP to have out by this summer so I can have something to bridge the gap between those 2 releases. So I started getting to work on my first single. Howdy gang, I was just doing some work on what I believe is going to be my next single. If you saw my video on Bias Effects 2, I was talking about tones and I had this little riff that I was working on, and I thought to myself, what can I do with this? Let me preface that it's not there yet. The puzzle pieces are there. I'm just still in the process of trying to fit them together in a way that makes sense, but I really wanted to share this breakdown with you because I thought it was honestly one of the coolest things that I've written so far, and I'm really excited to share it even if it's not totally done yet. I'm still trying to figure out how to get it to flow naturally. I've been experimenting with doing different vocal things to try and bridge the gap between those two sections, and also to try and fit it in with the rest of the song, which I won't share yet because you're not allowed to hear it until it's done, okay? No. As I was working on this first single, that's when it became clear to me just how much work my drumming really needs in order to be album ready. So I pivoted hard and ditched the practice routine for a little while so that I could focus entirely on just drums, and I still don't have it up to speed to be able to track this song. Today is April 14th, and this week I've made it my goal to try and finish my next single. I've got it fairly close to being done. We're going to tidy up all the drums first. What I did earlier is I wrote it section by section and then just copied and pasted things to sort of get the arrangement figured out. So now what I need to do is I need to actually practice the whole thing and then play it all the way through so that it sounds like a real song and not just clipped together. My drumming is just a huge bottleneck. My timing was off, it was slowing everything down. I have ideas for cool fills, but I'm not able to execute them properly. And while everything else on the single is ready to go, I just can't track the drums yet. And I already made a promise that I wasn't going to make any manual adjustments in post because I want it to be authentically live, even if it's recorded on an electric kit. So I drilled and I drilled and I drilled, and we're still not there yet, but I did want to mention one thing that was helping me out a lot. So the first two main problem areas were in the verse and the pre-chorus of the song. So most of the verse is fine, it was just this beat. Right? But then I have this faster kick pattern. Right? But when we went back to the original riff, I had this super easy breakdown, right? And then we had this fill to take us back into the verse. Now, what I could have done is just sit here and rep the entire song, or rep these two sections over and over again. But what I did instead is I created a drill for myself to target just the areas that were slowing me down. What using this isolation technique did for me is it allowed me to make my practices a lot more efficient. So instead of repping the stuff that I could already do well, I just condensed my practice to target only the areas that were causing me a lot of trouble and just rep those over and over and over again. And I feel like that's made a lot of progress so far, even if I'm not ready to record just yet.
So this is a problem that I have experienced so many times throughout the songwriting process, throughout recording both my albums that are out so far, is I'll write a song and I will really like it, and then I will start listening to it in demo form over and over again without a critical ear. What ends up happening is that it's really easy for me to wear myself out on a song, and then I start to second guess myself, and I start to think that the song that I wrote is actually bad. It's not as good as I thought it was, when in reality, that's just ear fatigue. That's just what happens when you wear a song out. I mean, think about it, right? You do that to your favorite songs all the time. I mean, I used to do that. Especially the first thing that comes to mind is Smells Like Teen Spirit, right? That song is so catchy. It's so good. But so many times in my life, I go to listen to it and I'm like, man, this song is just annoying. It's just driving me crazy, but that's because I wore it out. I listened to it all summer, right? And the same thing happens to your own music, except for, in my experience, it happens at a much greater scale. You know, I was going to work on it today, but I have to force myself now to not only not work on it, but to not listen to it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna end up overthinking it, and I'm just gonna rewrite the whole dang thing, even though I know it was good from the start. And maybe it's true that it isn't as good as I thought it was, but the fact that I was able to listen to the song over and over again, and my ears start to trick me, and they start to think the core concept of this song is not good anymore. You have to change it, you have to scrap it, you have to write a new song. Guys, I'm telling you, that's a lie. It's such a lie. This happened with the...
I'm not really looking for this EP to be perfect. I'm kind of just looking at it as a way to evolve my sound and to refine my writing and production skills before diving into the full album, so I still consider it to be sort of part of the training process. We've got a ways to go, so I'm excited to have some more music out between those two releases. Looking back over this month, it made me really reflect on what it means to go all in on music, because when people hear that phrase, it often sparks a lot of worry. Like you're gambling your life or you're throwing your future away. I just don't think that going all in on music necessarily means being reckless about it, and I think that it can be done safely, so I wanted to touch on that before I end the video. To me, going all in on music means making smart sacrifices. It means building a life that nurtures your craft instead of suffocating it. And you know, I'm lucky that I have music education to carry me through this journey, because it's something that acts as a means of income and as a backup plan all at once. The more I get better at music, the better my lessons get, the more money I can charge, and if I never end up actually making a living off of music alone, then I still have a career made. So that's what has allowed me to feel safe going all in on music, but for others it might look different. It might look like carving out evenings and building up stability, doing something else to pay the bills. There's no really one right path, but whatever it looks like, to me, going all in just really means not letting the dream rot on the shelf while life just happens. It means building your life in a way that protects your time, that protects your spirit, that allows you to nurture your craft every single day and work towards that dream. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you're new here, you can check out part 1 of the album training series right here. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe as well, and I hope to see you guys around. Bye!